Ugh. So, in continuance of our escapes, we started mountain escapes last week. So I want to go just a little bit more over some mount escape concepts and defense and stuff. So we're going to start right from the get-go. We went over last week the reaching in to hold like with the inside of your palms, scooting back so your arms can lock. Yeah, sorry camera. Sorry guys, turning away from the guys to show the camera. So if you come around here, just don't stand in front of the camera. You gotta get like signs or something. So we did the one where you slide yourself, you use your elbows, get to the point where you can extend your arms, and then basically using your knees to sort of unbalance and your arms to unbalance. You get your knees in between you and your opponent one way or the other. Sometimes, like I was saying before, if you do this in conjunction with like sitting up, you push them away, end up in like a butterfly. God, is what we did last week.
So straight lock arms.
Yep, like just scooting back, getting to the point where your arms are straight, and just, I mean, you can even do sit up and push into it. So a little bit different. We also did a thing with trapping the leg, turning, trapping the leg like here, coming back, for a sweep from there. So this week we're going to go over a little different of a concept, which is I bring my hand over here to the hip, okay? We did this one before too, if you went over these escapes with me before. But you bring this hand over to the hip, and rather than an even approach, defending with like an even approach, the same approach to both sides, you're adding in a complicating factor for the person on top, which is unbalancing method, where I'm only putting an emphasis on one side. So that then they have this motion, that we were dealing with last week, backwards and forwards, and then now they have this balancing because they're kind of getting pushed over, like back in that direction, rather than just backwards or forwards. So you can introduce this other element over here of putting the hand here like this. And we're just going to do this movement here first, just to start, with the leg trap that we did last week, the second move or third move that we did last week. So you put your hand in here, you put your other hand to support it. The only reason why, now you can put this hand first and put this other hand here to support it. It doesn't matter necessarily either way. The only reason why, like my natural instinct is to put this hand over here from the cross hand, I would call it, because it's coming from my right side to my left side over here. The only reason why I'm putting this on the top is just, I guess it's kind of a fear-based reason, which may not be the best, but it's just in case I need to do something with this hand to defend with this hand. I want this hand to be free. If I had this hand underneath like this, I can defend with this hand, that's fine. But for some reason, I just like to have, I'm right-handed, so I like to have my dominant. That's just my explanation of why I'm going with the cross hand being on the top rather than underneath the other hand. Try it both ways. Everybody's different. Try it both ways. And if you're left-handed, then my reason for this doesn't apply to you. So try it both ways, but bring the initial hand over on the hip here, the other hand to support over top of that. And then basically all you do once you get to here, and again, if Leo's higher up, I can do the same thing. Set it up here and just sort of push him and myself to this point. I just have to move a little bit. Then I go use this to side. I want to try to bring my knee underneath Leo's foot. Okay, just like we did last week. Grab the foot here and pull it up. This isn't the best, Leo can pull his knee up and pull his foot back out and escape. But this is just an attack that I can do here, and I can push him away and come back and get the half guard. Grab the belt back here and make sure that I'm controlling as much as possible with this grip on the collar here and my elbow coming and flaring up to break this base right here that he's got. Okay? Now I can just put some weight and come down like this, but the reason why I did that was because I can counterbalance as well. I can push him this way, pull him back, and come up like this, just like we did last week. This was a little bit different of a setup, with the hand positioning being a little bit different as well. The other good thing about this one is even if he starts in a real bad position for you, you can still put your hands here and still start to work the shrimp away. Once you shrimp away, try to drop the leg. Okay? Like I said before, when you're trapping the leg, this knee has to point down at the mat. This heel comes over and pulls it up. Okay? Initially, you can figure four here to make sure that they don't break their leg. And most of what they're doing, hopefully, once you get this far, most of what they're doing is aiding you getting deeper to the control position. Okay? And you can grab this grip here too if you want to. This is secure. Make sure you get this. You can do the counterbalancing this way. So I'm here like this. Okay, I bring my other hand to support. I use my elbows here too. You don't just use your hands and push like this. You gotta use your elbows and your butt and scoop so you can get free. Okay, put your hand here. Other hand pushes in. This should, if you use it in conjunction, you're pushing and pulling. You're using it in conjunction with your knees, doing stuff too, right? You're pushing, getting your knees into the right position where you need them. Pull this over here, trap it. Okay? Once you get this foot trapped like this, you don't need to push anymore. You want him to come in, you want to start pulling, you want to come in and get ready to do the sweep. So you come in for the underhook, like this, grab the sleeve. This goes up here, gets a nice grip here. So if I have to, I can go this way. Say he bases out, whatever, I come back, and I'm on top. Okay. Obviously, if you want to go crazy with a pass here, you can lift the leg up right here with the hand. Get the knee in close. Do the long step switch around to the outside here. And there's this mission here too, but. Of course, it's still this mission. Hand belly. Inches through to the grip. You can come around for that. We're here like this, right? And if I can do an escape without going for one of Leo's legs, because this going for the leg thing is really not going to happen as people get back. Like, you might get it on a blue belt, but as people get like to purple belt and higher, unless they're just being lazy or they're not paying attention, it's really hard to trap somebody's leg. They're going to hide their legs, like as you go, they're going to hide them on your butt and just make it a pain in the butt for you to try to get their legs. So one way to address that is to do what's called, instead of a normal shrimping motion here, you do what's called a power shrimp. So, remember this? You don't remember it? So, you go here like this. We want to basically get as much space as we can, just like we did before, but they might not give us as much space as we want. So, what I do here is, and what I've seen and taught, is what's called a power shrimp, which is like a bridge and a shrimping motion in one. Okay? See how much space I just made with my hands framing on Leo's hip there? I immediately want to bring my hand in and capitalize on that space. I let go and bring my hand in. So that's why it's good to have the cross hand on the bottom and the hand on the top. I just realized that. You can't be wasting time to get your hand out from this to reach to block this, because what you do this for is to just get your knee here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch over and shrimp, do a normal, regular shrimp, but on this side, away from him, and get my hip away. And then I'm out. So, yeah, I do see that. I do see that where that has to be on top. So that cross hand has to be on the bottom here. When you get here like this, you do your bridge and shrimp motion. You gotta bring that hand right down. It's gotta be on. It's gotta be free. You come right down as quick as possible. If I don't bring that hand right down, the rail's just gonna correct. And even if my hand's here like this, you just bring your knee up. Just bring your knee up to my under, yeah, like this. And it's gonna correct. Or you just bring his knee up just my underarm. Yeah. And cut that space out. I gotta. So as soon as I create that space, I gotta get my hand down here like this. Bring my knee in. And I can even shrimp first here a little bit, like push and shrimp a little bit first, and then go to the other side and shrimp with that leg that got that space right there, and you're basically free. You're in, butterfly guard, some sort of open guard. So yeah, reach across here, guys, with the hand that's reaching across, and with the hand that's on that same side, put on top of that hand that's reaching across. So if you do it on the right side, it would be the other way around, but this side is this. I just bump, shrimp, like this, get my hand down in here. Okay? Now I'm gonna have to shrimp a little bit more here, but I have the space. I have plenty of space. Even if Leo does try to adjust and catch it, plenty of space to sit here. Until I can get to the other side, shrimp to the other side, and escape the rest of the way. So we're here like this. We're trying to create some space. So we do the power shrimp, get the hand down right in here. Get the knee up, shrimp to the other side, and you're free. Here, this. You do power shrimp. Hand over here. Knee comes up. Do a little shrimp here just to get plenty of space. Derrick might even try to follow me here. If he tries to follow me, just shrimp to the other side. So come on. It's like shrimp, bridge, shrimp, like that, right? Bridge, shrimp. The shrimp is just like that. Okay? So we end up in this position, like with them with both of their knees down pretty much, and we end up with like this sort of, under here sort of, right? When we finish the mountain escape, almost every time you end up in some sort of this, or you have like their arms. You're something like this. So the person on top here, this technically is a really good position for the person on bottom in jiu-jitsu. But a lot of times the person on top grabs your belt or your legs or something here and starts to negate and gets like inside position and starts to negate the position. And so the person on the bottom doesn't get to take advantage and get into, like, we're going to get into a butterfly guard here. We get into a true guard and start to, impose some of their will on the other person now that they've escaped. So I just see an opportunity here to go over this really quick. So if they're grabbing on my belt here, like this, the break that I always teach here is the cross grip. Again, get a nice grip here if you can. At least a couple of knuckles, if not all the way to the top knuckle here, deep. Reach through and break that grip away so it comes totally free at that 45-degree angle. And pull that arm so you can get them deep into your guard, right? You want to get them in the controlling position. So you get that arm up here, deep into your guard. You use your hooks too. Then you can get that hand, and you can help get that hand on that collar. So now I have them, I've closed the space. I've gone from an open position where the guy on top sort of has the ability to initialize things and start to get ready to pass and a lot of movement. So already now, his movement has been vastly reduced. Okay, we're in a very good position. There's movement has been vastly reduced. I just reached through my other hand right here, and now he's got no use of either side. Okay? I have this side over here, and I have this side over here, and I have his legs. So now he's really, basically he's just waiting here for a moment to escape, if he can, from one of these points of control. Maybe he can get his arm out. Maybe he can get this overhook, start to get his elbow off of this overhook, whatever it might be. You know, but he's got to escape those points of control. So at least I've set up a barrier for him. So he's grabbed, we got to this position, we're kind of open. He's grabbing, maybe he's already getting ready to pass, and I'm just sort of like, oh, he's going to pass, oh no. So I got to grab over here, get this, break this grip, and bring this up, lift him up with my feet to get him closer to me, and get this nice deep collar grip, far side collar grip here with my fingers in, and then reach underneath and get this underhook, and you can even grab the gi up here, you can even grab the collar if you want to, but grab the shoulder and grab the gi up here, and then just keep lift. It came up here, the momentum is coming this way, just lift them up to the mat like this, and come to side control, flat feet. Okay? To finish that, you release the overhook. It doesn't have a lot of use. You've used the overhook, so you can release it now. Come to the cross, cross face, palm down, get your grips right here first before you change your hips or do anything else. And again, if he starts playing with his elbow, we did this with the side control escape stuff. He starts playing with his elbow here, I can use my hip and even come back and use my knee to break the elbow loose before I change my hips. I don't want to change my hips too early. Go back to where you were. I don't want to change my hips too early, and then he escapes. Okay? So I get to this point right here, make sure everything is good. If it's not good, I adjust a little bit. Then I just make sure that I'm careful, keep my grips, don't try to change my hips before I have a good controlling position here. And then I just be really careful, and as I change my hips, I block with my left leg, and I trap his arm. So now I'm in a good, solid side control. Position of like, I just escaped. I really have a potential for something to happen here, but nothing's happening. I can't do much. To get this grip, bring this through, break it free, pull him up into the controlling position now. Get your overhook. Grab that far collar. Get your underhook here. Pull him up. Everything's coming up so that he comes like this. You come to your side control. You're going to let that go. Grab your grips. Okay? Again, my coach yells at me. This grip coming around the head, the palm has to go down for optimal pressure, optimal strength. In this position, the hand coming up is palm up along their back right here, like this. The big takeaway is that this part of your arm is denser and harder than the underside of your arm. The big reason for that, and I guess Dave would know more about this than any of us probably, but the physics of this pulling, apparently, to me it feels better. And what other people have said is that it feels better than this. It does feel a little bit, but I've always done, not always, but a lot of times I've done it the other way. And I notice when I do it this way, everything just feels here. We got to this point right here, again, not too early to where I'm messing up and losing the position, but in due time and in consideration of all the variables here, I'm coming back and correcting, getting a nice deep catch here, bringing my outside leg in to really block and get to a good side control. I did my final shrimp here. I don't really have a solid grip anywhere, and he's coming in to get a solid grip himself. So I'm going to establish my grip here with a cross, reach underneath, and break it away, whatever grip he's got. pull him up to the overhook, not like that. Pull him up to the overhook, get the cross collar grip right there. Get the underhook, grab whatever you can here, so that if you can get to the collar, that's good. If not, just grab this extra fabric around the shoulder. Use this momentum of pulling them. I'm still pulling them up. We're still using the same momentum of pulling them up here. When I lift them over, come to side control here, bring my hand underneath, get the grips. Make sure that I'm closing off the space enough that when I switch my hips, his arm is still trapped and I don't get, bucked off and lose the position. We're like this, right? What I'm gonna do is, I got both of my knees here. I'm gonna drive into Leo, but I'm driving low, like, I'm imagining my knees, but I'm also using the shoulder pressure to get him, like, lifted up and over like this, okay? So, to achieve this, I'm doing the shoulder pressure like this. I'm also using my knees to make up as I'm lifting with the shoulder pressure. I'm bringing my knees. So he's basically sideways, is where I want to get.
Resting on your thighs.
On my thighs, yes, exactly. So then, I'm going to let go here once he gets to this good position. I don't want to lose this. I never want to lose this hand because of that, just because of all sorts of things that can happen. But the main thing is, the thing that's keeping him like this, one of the main things, is this ability right here. It's a lot less, right, Leo, now that I don't have my grip. If I don't have something to grab onto, he's just going to escape. So when I release this hand, switch it and grab, either if you can, to the underarm, but just grab the fabric here and get a nice grip. If you have that deal where this is here, grab this. If you have that, okay, because your hand's coming free anyways. So grab here, come down here, pass this, get this. So you have this, so you can keep him up on his side, right? So you can keep him perfectly sideways, or sideways as possible. Because you want his back off the mat. You want this part right here off the mat. Okay, so it's easy access. You want to be controlling that with your hip, driving that with your hip. So we're here like this. I bring my hand around in that space where his back is up off the mat. I just bring it around like this and grab the gi, fingers in, at the collar, right there. This hand right here, I can bring it inside the collar here, okay? You can't stop that because I have my hand, my knuckles and my hands here. Even if he tries to put his head down to the mat, like back down to the mat, my hand is already under here. I can still get my hand in this position right here, okay? And if he tries to tries the defensive, bringing his head down to the mat, I'm already in the position. I can just bring the hand around, bring the hand in the front, and like push his neck to get the tap right there like that. So we're in side control like this, okay? We want to drive, catch with the knees, watch with the knees, push with the knees too. We want to drive so the knees are underneath. If his arms, for this one here, there is a, we don't have time to go, remember Bravo? There is a Bravo choke you can do here. We're not going to deal with that right now. We're just going to deal with, the arm is out. We don't have time to do it. The arm is out like this, and I got my knees underneath him. Okay? So now I reach through and grab something here tight. I can even grab the collar now if I want to over here. I can grab right here like this and still drive, still be doing the same thing. Basically, my thumb and this part of my hand right here into my shoulder to hold support his back being up off the mat. Bring my hand around and through to the back of that collar right there. Now my hand's already in the position it needs to be in. I just loop it around his head. Bring the hand and dig the blade into the neck and like this to free, if they try to defend. Bring the hand around, bring the blade of the hand down into their chest, and the elbow goes like this. Okay, so we're like this. Oh, put your arm out there. Yeah. So we're like this. Well, maybe next week or tomorrow or something, we'll get into the Bravo choke again from there, because I love that choke. But, anyways, so if that arm's free, you can't do the Bravo choke. You can't do the sand bucket. So you drive, knees come underneath. Drive, knees go underneath. The side's totally off. I'm sort of angled over like toward this way, so that his back is up. Sort of angled this way, so that I can drive right into his shoulder and lift his back up to the mat. Switch the grip to his knee here, or to his collar, right here like this, so I can still get that motion that I need. The hand comes around, grab the collar, the back of the collar with the fingers in right here. The elbow flares up over the head. The hand comes down right here like this. Okay? Just tap. There, just like that. Yeah, Derrick, you got to roll with Anthony next time we go. He was sad he was crying because he didn't get to roll with you.
Which one is that?
The little Puerto Rican guy. He was the first one that showed up when we were there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He opened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was very upset. He likes to test himself.
That's the rule with having a week off.
Yeah.
Fucking hurts.
No.
It's cheating to take a week off, Leo.
Yeah, I know.
It's cheating. Okay, guys, that's time. And I'm changing it to 5.5 minutes because we're going to start right now anyway. So. Remember what you said about it being child's play here now, Derrick.
I like how you say that right down.
You were kind of blocking me passing over to that side though, weren't you?
I was, and then I let it
Feel
go.
it, yeah. I could feel like, does he know what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to pass over to the other side and do exactly what you did.
I was like, is he feeling? Because you were like blocking me at first. I was like, but he doesn't, I was like, I don't think he knows, but maybe he does. You had me fooled. I was like pausing for a minute.
I knew exactly what I was doing. He was reading your mind. Yeah.
That's very good. Okay. That was mean. Lessons learned. Nice.
My dog does. She just like shoves her butt in there. I'll roll my coin guard for that.
I was waiting for it. You have to wait for that moment to escape, or it won't work. At your will. I don't want calls. Time, guys.
Oh, shit. Oh, you already know, right? I just saw the Roy down. I just saw the pony book.
I'm gonna try this today, guys.
I got a little tip from an outfielder.
Oh shoot!
I was like, oh shit, look at that. I go to grab him. He just goes. Every time when he goes.
Oh shit, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't smell like that.
I find out like this one. This is too much. But if you can hit that really early, I'm gonna have a hard time passing. Right. So I think you did good. Like that's alright.
We go for an ankle lock.
I touched the heater. Foul.
No violence. No pain. You're taking a page out of my book, man. This is good. It's stealing my sanity.
Got that stop left from Diego too. When
Yeah.
I talked to me on Bella.
Yeah, they were talking.
Last minute, that's all I could do.
They were talking you up after you left. It's like, man, he's good. How old is he?
triangle to them not working. It's like the ultimate futility. That was a good Derrick. I wasn't stalking him, I had something, I don't know, leg lock, so.
I don't want to mess with that half-life. Thing. I've buffed up that half guard too much. I don't like it anymore. Losing to Marcelo Garcia moment.
I knew I was distracting you with the armbar. I think something out.
That's great.
What were you doing to me that was getting me real tight for a little bit?
It's a bullshit Ezekiel.
A bullshit one?
Yeah, I don't think it would work, but
I don't know, you were doing something annoying like over here too.
just trying to
Loosen
loosen the action out.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what arm I'm loose.
That's true.
Time. Time, guys. Oh, I'm gonna go down in a second.
I'll get you down.
I guess I just started standing.
Yeah, just till I go down. Yeah.
They encourage, my team encourages starting standing. So you're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you gotta do is this is like a position that has to become home. You know? It's a position that has to become like,
Totally.
I don't,
Energy conservation.
yeah, and I don't mind when I get to side control or not. I try to say this is jujitsu. This is the purpose of what I'm here for. Like this is like what I have to embrace, or it's just gonna be torture, and I might as well not be doing this. I'm gonna be here a lot, you know.
Not feeling that rush.
It's just time.
Yeah.
Time. All things are fixed by time. That's the thing. Get to the point where you're going gas, and that's 90% of the path, you know? Didn't get it. No time. You got it. Thanks for coming, guys. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Obrigado. Thank you. Obrigado. Thank you. Portuguese.